everyone. Today we are going to be doing some action painting, and we are going to be using watercolors and glue, and then a couple of other things too if you have these around the house. It could be a popsicle stick, a straw, one of those plastic knives, or even forks would work really well. And if you have a toothpick, you could use that. I have this tool here that's kind of like a toothpick, but a toothpick, if you're at home, would work really great. So the very first thing we want to do to create our action painting is we want to do the paint part. And to do that, we start by getting the paper wet. This is going to help our paint spread out. And you can use whatever colors you want. In this one, I chose to use just the cool family colors, the blues, purples, and greens. But if you want to do like a whole rainbow, that's fine. Just be careful, because once you start mixing a bunch of stuff together, you will find that you end up with mud. I'm also going to add a little water underneath this to get that paper to flatten back out. All right, so we're using a pretty heavy paper here, preferably watercolor paper or something stronger than a copy paper, because this isn't gonna work well with these tools if the paper's too thin. So then I'm going to start adding my color. And when I add my color, I'm action painting. So I can add it doing waves. I could add it doing, here, let's do some yellow. Swirls. So however I want to decide to add the color is great. And I can add as many colors as I want, as long as I'm careful I'm not mixing too much. But if you want those brown colors, go for it. So on this one, I'm going to zigzag. So action painting is about how you do it. It's about the motions that you make. There's no right or wrong way to do it. I'm just going to continually add my colors. I'm doing kind of a loopy swirl here. But I'm adding all my colors in and just kind of dancing that brush across the paper in different ways. And you can see the colors kind of mix and they blend. And if you want to leave some white space showing, that's great too. However you want to do that kind of action. So once you get the paper the way you want it, I'm going to add a little purple like that. All right, I'm dancing with the brush. Now, once you've gotten to this point, you are actually going to also do some action painting with glue. And what the glue does is it actually kind of resists the paint a little bit. It means it pushes the paint away, and you end up with these really cool glue lines as well. Now, when you do this, you do need a fairly full glue bottle, but you're going to hold the glue way up high away from the paper so that it does some pretty cool things when you drop it down. And then you're just going to kind of squeeze the glue out and watch what happens. Now, however much glue you want to use is up to you. So I'm just kind of making lines all over my paper. This is action painting. All right, now once you get the glue on the way you want, while the glue's drying, you can do some other action things as well. Jackson Pollock was really famous for what we called the drip painting. So what he would do is actually drip color on his painting. So to do that, you want a lot of water and a lot of paint, and you can actually hold something and then tap the brush against it, and it drips off of it. So you can do some drip painting that way if you'd like. You can also just drop the paint on, but you don't want to get too much on there or it starts to be swimming around in there. Another thing you can do is you can use these tools, and this was something else that Jackson Pollock would do, is he would kind of drag other tools through his paintings. So I could take my tools that I have now and actually move my glue lines around and create a whole new level of action painting. And it's kind of mixing the paint and the glue lines together. And you can do that with the knife, the butter knife, or the fork as well, or the toothpick. They all kind of work. So this is just kind of, you're exploring, you're trying things out, and you're making a wonderful masterpiece while you're at it. Same thing, popsicle stick will work. It's got a kind of a thicker edge. The toothpick does some pretty fine lines. It's similar to this tool. So this one makes really little lines. So however you want to explore with this is great. Obviously you need to let it sit for a while and let it dry, but when it dries pretty flat overall. So I hope you have fun with your action painting.